Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 9 in the book of Colossians. Got a beautiful passage today with great images, great picture. I'm going to start with Santa's naughty and nice list. You've seen the picture. Picture this in your head. It's Santa sitting on the chair, and he's got this long piece of paper that has, I think it's his naughty and nice list, but it's not an 8 by 12 piece. 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It's this long piece of paper that trails off of his lap and kind of like out of the picture. And that is the picture today of the sin that we have, the record of accusations that is against us. Listen in here. This is from Colossians chapter number 2, verse 11. In him also you were circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, by putting off the body of the flesh by the circumcision of Christ, having been buried with him in baptism, in which you were also raised with him through faith in the powerful working of God, who raised him from the dead. And you, who were dead in your trespasses and the uncircumcision of your flesh, God made alive together with him, having forgiven us all our trespass, by canceling the record of debt. That's the Santa list. By canceling the record of debt that stood against us with its legal demands. This he set aside. I think that's what I'm going to use my title today, because it's just a gentle way of saying this. This record of debt, the Santa list of sin and offense, this he set aside. Where'd he put it? Nailing it to a cross. Verse 15, he disarmed the rulers and authorities and put them to open shame by triumphing over them in him. All right, so we have this beautiful picture of this long list of sin. And on that list, we have, let's say, the most horrible thing you've ever done in your life. Let's just have that as number 1. Number 2 on the list is the second most horrible thing you've ever done in your life. Number 3, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every curse, every thought, every vengeance, every lust, every harmful thought, everybody you wanted to punch in the nose. Just this long list of all the sins that we've sinned. And everybody loves justice. We want justice. People carry signs about it, but nobody ever carries a sign that says, I want justice for myself. Why? Because we know we have this long list, and somebody's got to pay for that. Someone has to do justice for that. There's this debt that is owed. Payment is due for this. We just don't want to do this. So the second problem is we have this death problem. One of the consequences of sin, if you go back to Genesis, is death. And who's going to fix our death problem? And this is a powerful working of God, it says. And this is something that only Jesus can do, because Jesus gets raised from the dead. And chapter 1, verse 18 says that Jesus is the firstborn from the dead. In other words, here's another good picture, is Jesus is leading a resurrection parade. And we definitely want to get into that parade. So the only way we can fix this problem is by our association with him, to get into his parade, and that is be raised with him through faith. That's what this passage talks about. So we talk about the symbol of baptism, or a rite, or an ordinance, or a practice in the church. And baptism is that we are buried with him. Baptism never saved anybody, yet everybody should do it. In fact, I would even argue that everybody is commanded to do it from the New Testament teaching. And why is that? Why is this symbol so important? Well, it's because we have on one side, okay, we're dead in our trespasses. We're bearing our guilt. We have uncircumcised flesh. We're not holy. We're bearing our own consequences. We're bearing our own sin. We have the Santa list of sin, and we're like a dead guy in a grave. Not only even an alive guy, we're a dead guy in a grave, trying to get out. And all this stuff, all this bad stuff, God says this he set aside. So this Santa list of sin, what happens to it? It's nailed. He nails it. How about the record of debt? He cancels that. How about this laundry list of trespass? Forgiven it. What about these legal demands? Obliterated. And then finally, verse 15. What about the bad guys? What about the rulers and authorities? Well, what are they doing? What is Satan doing? He is accusing. And get this, in Revelation 12:10 it says, he is the accuser of our brothers, and he's before the throne day and night, accusing to the Lord on our behalf. So this is like his full-time job. Satan is accusing before the Lord. And in a sense, he's right, because he's saying, hey, look at the scandalous wrongs that these people have done. Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to make that just? I thought heaven was a holy place. How are you going to let these people in? Just day and night. And obviously, God is going to disarm this. He's going to put it to shame. He's going to triumph over it. How? He's going to nail it. He's going to cancel it. He's going to forgive it. He's going to obliterate it. He's going to set it aside. He's going to set all these trespasses, all the uncircumcised flesh, all the consequences of death, all the scandalous of sin, all this trying of the dead guy trying to get out. He's going to set it aside, cancel it, nail it, trespass it. All these legal demands, he's going to obliterate it. The accuser, he's going to be silenced. So who wouldn't want to jump on that bus or get in that parade, as we were saying? Who wouldn't want to get in the resurrection parade that Jesus is the firstborn from the dead? Sign me up for that. Well, how do you sign up for that in the church? It's through faith, and then the symbol of it, this is the visualization of it, because it's so beautiful, is baptism. So I don't know if today's a call for baptism, but it's just a gratefulness for this laundry list of sin that Jesus nailed. So if you're a believer and you want to find your sin, where are you going to find you have to go to the cross and find this long sandal list of your sin nailed to the cross. Your record of debt is canceled. Your trespass against the Lord, he says it's forgiven. Thank you for listening. He's set aside.